Write an equation of a line that is perpendicular to y equals 3x minus 5 and passes through the point 3, negative 2. Okay, so lots of information here. First of all, it says write an equation of a line. So our final answer should look like y equals mx plus b. Then it says we want it to be perpendicular. We have to remember that perpendicular slopes are opposite reciprocals. And that's the fancy math word for saying change the sign and flip it. All right, so we know we need it to be perpendicular to this line. Well, then I'm going to look at this line and I'm going to say, okay, well, what is my slope of that original line? And the slope is the m value, or the number attached to x. So I know my original slope is 3. And then I also have a point, which we can label x, y. So just a lot of good information going on here. Now that we've kind of read it and we know everything we need to know, let's start solving the problem. The first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take our original slope and make it perpendicular. So we're going to change the sign and flip it. Since our original slope was 3, we want to change the sign so we know it's going to be a negative, and then we want to flip it. And since it's 3, it's not a fraction yet, so I'm going to make it a fraction by putting a 1 underneath, and then I'm going to flip it so it's 1 over 3. So our new slope is negative 1/3. I'm going to go ahead and plug that into my equation for m. So I have y equals negative 1/3 x, but what I don't know yet is the b value. So you could probably use some process of elimination right here if it's a multiple choice test, and you could go ahead and make sure that it has a negative 1/3 slope. But then to figure out that b value, that's why we need this point. We're going to take this point and we're going to substitute it in to try to figure out the y-intercept. So I'm going to substitute a negative 2 for y, and I'm going to substitute a 3 for x. And then I'm just going to solve it to try to figure out b. Negative 1/3 times 3 is negative 1. And then I want to get the b by itself, so I need to get rid of negative 1, so I'm going to add 1 to both sides. And so my b value is negative 1. Now I have everything I need to know to be able to write my equation. So I have my y equals, my slope was negative 1/3, and my b value is negative 1. So this would be the equation of a line perpendicular to this line passing through that point.